everyone. Hi, my name is Eleanor and I'm a comedian. In a sense, I'm in an impossible situation by being here this evening because the whole ethos and business model of stand-up comedy is based on having poor mental health. So I'm kind of doing myself out of a job, these kind of events. The other thing is that I'm actually banned from talking about my mental health by my agent, because I suppose there's a possibility that there may be some comedians here in the audience, and if they were short of material, I might end up at a gig, sometime and see them up on stage talking about my problems, but passing them off as their own. It's the kind of thing I'd end up doing time over. No, I just wanted to, I suppose I'm puncturing the bubble a little bit of tenderness that we have here this evening. We're going to talk a little bit about 2014, what a year it has been. Scotland decided not to give England its independence. We had a number of people took Google to court over having the right to be forgotten. So that was very strange, a right to be forgotten. It took me ages to get my head around it, but then I realised I think it's because I've been very privileged in that sense through my whole life. I've never struggled in that way. I crashed my car this year. I crashed into the back of another lady's car up at St. Stephen's Green, and my car is quite old. And when I got out and looked at the damage, it was bad enough, but then I looked at her car and it wasn't too bad, and I thought that's going to be okay, but she got out of her car, and this will show you, she had a completely different response to the same scratch on her car. She looked at the scratch on her car, she looked at me and she said, "I have children." I have children. And obviously expecting me to say, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I'd never have crashed into you if I'd known of your reproductive brilliance." Normally when I'm prowling the streets looking for a victim, I go for somebody, disabled in some way. But I think Ireland's year has been kind of characterised by arguments, actually. We've had 3 major arguments in this country this year, and I suppose the danger with arguments is that we can find ourselves getting into a kind of an entrenched position around them, and it's unhelpful. And my therapist, whenever I'm like that, she gets me to say things called affirmations. And affirmations are statements that I can make out loud, and the act of saying them slowly moves me out of the entrenched position that I find myself in. Examples of affirmations I've had to say are, "Not all Dublin people are on heroin." "American tourists are not trying to steal Irishness from us." And "The number of Billy Barry kids on the Late Show is completely legal." So the first row that I thought we would talk about, that I've written affirmations for, was the Garth Brooks scenario, where the Dublin city manager got into trouble for actually trying to enforce some planning regulations. He must be very confused. But if you're wondering who are the real victims in the Garth Brooks scenario, was it the fans of country music? Was it the residents of Croke Park? Was it the Dublin hospitality industry? No, folks, I think it was actually Garth Brooks' own children, because if you remember at the time, Garth said that choosing between the concerts was like choosing between his own children. And if you saw what actually happened, Garth showed he was willing to sacrifice all of them. So the affirmations, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the affirmation, and the idea is that you guys will say it out loud as a chorus. Are you with me on that? Yes. Great, okay. So the first affirmation is, it's this. Croke Park residents do know what a hoolie is. Great. And the second one is, country music is not the anthem of stupidity. The second row that we had then was, that I'm going to mention, was the water charges. Of course, we spent the first half of the year pouring buckets of iced water over ourselves, and then the second half realising what a precious resource we had wasted. So depending on what side of the water debate you're on, well, here's one you can say. Rainwater, though plentiful, is still undrinkable. Great. And for the other side then, there's a difference between a protester and a troublemaker. Brilliant. The other row I thought I'd mention as well was the Pantygate that happened over the Late Late Show, and I suppose that's going to, feed into next year with the marriage equality referendum. Here's what I'll say about that is, I think that when we get gay marriage legalised, I think we should immediately start on the campaign for lesbian marriage straight away after that. I don't think it's fair that the girls should have to wait. So depending on what side you're on that one, here's one you can say. By 2018, 100% of Irish people will be gay. Only a few you said that one. Okay. And finally, if you're on the other side of it, maybe if there's people from the Iona Institute here, you might say this: some heterosexual people are not perfect. Would you be willing to own that? Okay. I'll just finish up with this. I suppose, I've always believed that I am equal to a man. I don't know, it's just something I never really questioned. For example, to the extent that I don't even believe in yeast infections, to be honest. I think they're just something the patriarchy are telling us to make us feel bad about ourselves. Here's my theory on it. I think, they say that, the way they say that if somebody is talking about you, that your ears burn. I believe that if somebody is masturbating about you, but it was only last year that actually resonated with me at an even deeper level, the whole equality of the sexes. And you think these things are going to come from a big, from on high. You think you're going to get a letter from Enda Kenny, or you're going to see it written in the stars or something like that. The big changes in society, they happen in very small ways. And I got the really final realisation of my equality with the male sex actually through my car insurance, ladies and gentlemen, of all things. And like a lot of the women here, I would have had, a massive hike in my car insurance, and we would have rung up the car insurance in anger, like I did, and gone, hello? Yeah, no, I knew women were getting cheaper car insurance. I do. I believe that women should be fully paid up members of society. So I have to pay more for my car insurance because of feminism. No, you must have that wrong. No, sure, feminism is about helping women. It's not supposed to cost us money. No, I do want to end discrimination, but you're not making any sense. If women are getting cheaper car insurance, how are we being discriminated against? Discrimination against men? Are you having a fucking laugh, are you? And when do we start giving a damn about that? No, I do believe in equality, but it's for women. But sure, statistically, women are better drivers. Well, no, not me. I had that crash all right now, but I mean, I suppose it's going to be first come, first served at the lifeboat now too, is it? No, I don't want to talk to your marine department. Happy New Year, everyone.